All right, good morning, everyone. Let's go ahead and get started. Excuse me. So, firstly, let's look for some economic data. Today we have Fed Chairman Powell speaking at 4 o'clock Eastern, but that will be at the market close, so that should not have any impact on the trading session. Immediate impact. But let's look at what economic data has already come out. So, we had final GDP quarter over quarter came in worse than expected. Unemployment claims came in better than expected. Final GDP price index quarter over quarter came in worse than expected. At 9 o'clock, we'll have FOMC member Goolsbee speaking. At 10 o'clock, we'll have pending home sales month over month. And at 1 o'clock, we'll have FOMC member Cook speaking. Now, the two FOMC members speaking before Powell shows here that there's not an expectation of strong market impact, but we never know. So at 9 o'clock, which will be half an hour before the market opens, we might get some impact from statements made by Goolsbee. But at 10 o'clock, we'll definitely get some impact from pending home sales month over month. Now, as far as the market is concerned, so far the NASDAQ is only slightly lower than where it was yesterday. The red line is yesterday's close. We're trading slightly lower than that. And if we look at yesterday's action, it was fairly neutral. We started here. We at first went down, but then we sharply reversed and closed right there. So not much of a change in price, but there was substantial price movement. Looking at stocks that were active yesterday, we have the following. Not a lot, but PayPal was able to reach target number 2 to the downside of 57.10. FSLR was able to reach target number 1 to the upside of 164.34 before then turning around and reaching target number 1 to the downside of 158.16. Riot Blockchain was able to reach target number 1 to the downside of 894, although that wasn't what we were looking for. We were looking for it to go up, but shortly after the market opened, it turned around and went down. Now, we were looking for Starbucks to go down. Oops. And Starbucks was able to reach target number 2 to the downside of 90.43. Apple was able to reach target number 1 to the downside of 170.64 and then get about 3/4 of the way to target number 2, but not reach their bottom out at 169.05. Let's see. Tesla was bearish, and we were able to see that reach target number 1 to the downside of 238.48. And I got about 2/3 of the way to target number 2 to the downside, bottoming out at 234.58. CrowdStrike was able to reach target number 1 to the upside of 163.65, but not able to get beyond that. Paramount Global was able to reach target number 1 to the upside of 1282. Array Biosciences was not able to reach target number 1, so I'll skip that one. INTC was able to reach target number 1 to the upside of 34.47, and then I get about halfway to target number 2 to the upside, but again, not able to reach target number 2. Rivian, after mostly moving down, did make a sharp reversal, and it almost reached target number 1. If it got within 1 penny of target number 1 to the upside, so Rivian topped out at 23.33, but target number 1 was 23.34. Google was eventually able to reach target number one to the upside of 130.22, but it was not a very good trend. So there were only a few stocks that trended pretty well. The rest were um, much less cooperative. They took a long time to get to where they were supposed to go, and usually had a lot of back and forth before they got there. All right, so as of right now, and I don't have any stocks that are showing up. Oh, actually, no, I have two stocks. Sorry, they're showing up on my pre-market scan, and one of them is GRTS, which is currently up 32.35% on 5.6 million shares, trading above $1 per share. It's a NASDAQ traded stock, so we should add that to our pre-market radar. Remember, we're only focusing here on stocks. These are not optionable options focused opportunities. So GRTS is there. Excuse me. All right, so Nicola's on there as well, but Nicola's not, it doesn't move enough in the pre-market, so maybe something happens intraday, but it just does not qualify for what we're looking for. So if you folks see any other NASDAQ listed stocks, I see Darren, you're already on that. We're looking for NASDAQ listed stocks that are trading at least 1 million shares of pre-market volume, at least $1 per share in price at the moment, and at least a 6% change in price, positive or negative. Now, let's start off with BNOX. Okay, that definitely qualifies. It's up 485%, 29 million shares traded. It's over $1 per share and it is NASDAQ listed, of course. So BNOX definitely qualifies and is very active at the moment pre-market. All right, next up we've got Peloton PTON, which is presently up 10.11%, 1.3 million shares traded. It is, of course, a NASDAQ listed stock above $1 per share, so it does qualify. So we will go ahead and add that to our pre-market radar. Um, Next up, we have BOLT, B-O-L-T, which is up 9.9%, 1.1 million shares traded. It's NASDAQ listed and it's above $1 per share, so that does qualify. Looks really sloppy right now, but it does qualify. So we'll add that and maybe it will get into a stronger pattern of trading later. John mentions RUM. Okay, now this one does not qualify. It is currently at break even. It's at 0% price change. The shares traded is 17,691. So what we want to do is pull these up on your TrueEdge Trader Pro platform and make sure when you look at the top, you see that this number here is at least 1 million or higher. This number here must be at least 6% positive or 6% negative. And this down here, of course, will have to show at least $1 per share, which it does, and it's a NASDAQ listed stock. So we need to make sure that the stocks we're finding are doing what we need them to do in the pre-market session. This one definitely is not. So any other stocks that meet our four criteria must be a NASDAQ listed stock that as of right now in the pre-market session, as of right this moment, is currently trading at least $1 per share or higher. It must have traded at least 1 million shares of stock in the pre-market session. So that does not include yesterday or any other day. It's today only, pre-market only. And in the pre-market only, it must have a 6% positive or negative price change or greater. So any other stocks that meet those four criteria, please let me know in the chat and we'll take a look. All right, so I assume there's no others. So we'll go ahead and wrap up the pre-market pulse. Folks, please be sure to like the video. It does greatly help us with the YouTube algorithm. I see 10 likes so far. Please be sure to like the video as more than 10 people are watching. Okay. And also, for those of you who have not, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, the YouTube channel. Other than that, for those of you who may be watching this video but are not familiar with our program, please be sure to check out fundertrading.com, our website. You will see a link in the description of this video. And other than that, Rodney, it probably is something to do with the settings on your YouTube. If you're not seeing it clearly, make sure you select it to view in HD. Most likely you're viewing it in something else than HD. So the little gear icon that's on the YouTube window, if it doesn't show the red HD mark, then that's what the issue is. Usually that happens if the internet connection is not fast enough, or maybe there was a delay of some kind at the moment. All right. Other than that, folks, for those of you who are in the coaching program, I'll see you there in about 26 minutes, and we'll go from there. Okay. All right, folks. Have a good one, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the pre-market pulse. Take care.